Welcome back to my channel, On The Go Vegan. If you're new here, my name is Zita, where I discuss anything vegan, cruelty-free, and sustainable. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Let's get started. Okay, so today's video is a very personal video for me. I'm gonna be discussing autism and autism with eating with a vegan diet. I don't like using the word diet, but I'm gonna use vegan lifestyle. So I have two sons. I have a soon-to-be 19-year-old that's turning 19 tomorrow, actually. And then I have a 6-year-old. My 6-year-old is the one I'm going to be discussing in this video. He is autistic. I knew he was autistic before he was even diagnosed. And probably around the age of, I'm trying to think, he was exhibiting signs of what professionals like to call red flags quite early on, before he made 2. So yeah, I'm just going to get right into it. So once again, all three of us, I was gonna say all of me, all three of us were vegan for some time. But my oldest son is an athlete. He was like, "Mom, I don't like eating this restrictive eating habits and diets. It's really hard for me. I feel like it might be affecting my performance of being an athlete." And I never wanted to force something on him and then he would blame me for not having the results that he feel like he should have if he still continued to eat meat. So I just let him, at that time he was like 17, to go back to eating meat. But he did try for like maybe 5 months of strictly vegan eating habits. But my youngest child, he and I continue. So it's been 2 years for the both of us, almost 3 years in March. So I'm not going to say my children's names. For my youngest son, he doesn't have a choice. I never asked him like, "Hey, is it okay if I talk about you?" For, just, he's a child, he's a minor. So I'm just going to say my 6-year-old. So I'm just going to get right into I'm sorry, I'm keep trying to, because I get emotional when I think about it. And I don't know how to explain it. No one would know until they walk a day in someone's shoes, or so with my 6-year-old, he was always a picky eater. I've mentioned that before, while buying food and trying to cook food for all of us. And he also has sensory processing disorder. So he has, your senses are either heightened or they're really kind of dulled. So there are certain textures he will only eat. Crunchy texture foods, like crackers, pretzels, chicken nuggets, fries. Even before we cut out meat, there were only certain restaurants that he would only eat chicken nuggets from. It just would be one of those things. If it didn't smell right, he wouldn't eat it. He would kind of like nibble on it, and then you'll know it quickly if he wants to finish eating that item. Anything that's too soft in texture, he won't eat it. It's just been one of those like trial and error, and it's been really challenging for me as a mom, with trying to buy things and then your child don't want to eat it. And then I'm stuck with, well, can I eat this? Do I even like it? And it's just, even before the inflation thing, it's just food is costly anyway. So when you're buying plant-based vegan items, it costs at a different rate than items that have milk, eggs, cheese or something. It's different. So it's just been really, really challenging. So it's been really hard to record videos because I feel like I keep talking about the same items because my life is different than other, vegan families, households, other vegan YouTubers, and I'm still on a small scale. I don't want to keep talking about the same vegan chicken nuggets that I buy for him, the same little vegan, little cheddar, plant-based cheddar crackers. I just feel like that's kind of, I don't want to say boring, but it will get old after time. So that is the reason why I wanted to kind of just explain that in this video, the challenges that goes along with it. So I'm a single mom, so I'm doing everything by myself, and I'm learning on like just basic trial and error. My 6-year-old has been going to therapies. What I mean by therapies, he was doing physical therapy when he was like 2 and 3, because he had difficulty walking. Just the way it is. Now, looking at him, he looks very neurotypical. You wouldn't know he has a challenge, right? I don't want to say a quote unquote disability, but some people do. So I have no ego when it comes to labels. But he still receives speech therapy inside school, outside of school, still receive occupational therapy inside school, outside of school. So that's been 4 years of continuous making arrangements to take him to therapies consistently for 4 years, still trying to find a job that's going to be flexible enough with my schedule and all of that. A lot of employers, a lot of supervisors, they'll listen. And then after a while, they'll end up, telling me, listen, we need to find somebody that's going to have a more accommodating schedule. And I'm like, wow. And I have people say, well, why don't you just get Social Security, disability? I tried that. And that bit me in the butt because Social Security said, you made too much and now you have to pay us back. In other words, if you have a minor child that receives Social Security, which is not a whole lot of money, it's like a little over $700 a month, meaning me as the parent, me as the person that support this child, because this child is not old enough to work and they have a disability, I'm not supposed to receive income. Now, we know that you cannot live off of $700 a month. One person can't, let alone a family of 3, because I support my college age child while he's away in school as a full-time student. And I have a 6-year-old. Then I still have to be able to take myself to and from. I have a vehicle. I have another vehicle that I'm paying for my son, my oldest son. So it's a lot that goes into trying to make ends meet, trying to make ends meet when you're vegan, trying to make ends meet when you're a special needs parent, because my child is in special education, my 6-year-old. So it's just a lot. And like I said, I'm trying to not get emotional. I love my children dearly. Love them. I will move heaven and earth for both of those boys. So, So, by my 6-year-old having restrictive eating wasn't the real reason why I said, you know what, let's do vegan, a vegan lifestyle. It was, I read that foods with casein, I believe, if I'm quoting it right, it's dairy, right? Was the reason his behavior was kind of erratic. The telltale signs of he being on the spectrum. The minute I removed the milk, the eggs, the cheese out of his eating habits, I saw a huge difference in my child. Now, and I'm gonna say this, I'm not a doctor. I'm not someone that works in the healthcare field and can give a diagnosis. I'm not saying, listen to me and I'm an expert. I'm not saying that. I do have a training in a pharmacy setting because I worked in a pharmacy and I'm going to school for nursing. But I'm not saying listen to me as if I know everything, because every family situation is completely different. Not two situations are identical. But I'm saying what I've read, and I tried it for us, and I saw an improvement in his behavior, immediate improvement in his speech. My child at the time was 2.5, and he was getting ready to receive special education services at age for him to turn 3 to go into special education pre-K 3 at 3 years old. My child only had like maybe 14 words in his vocabulary, and that broke my heart because I knew the signs. I'm sorry. I kept telling his pediatrician, I'm like, listen, he's not making milestones like Big Brother did at this age. And the doctor told me, No, don't compare them because every child is different. And I never compared, but as a mother, instinctively, I knew that something was very different. Not off, not unusual, and not too terribly bad. But as a mother, because this was my second time of rearing a child, both are boys, I knew something was instinctively different. So, yeah. So it's been a challenge. My child has seen a urologist because he was born with this thing called hydronephrosis. There's a lot of fluid in the kidneys, so the kidneys wouldn't drain properly. He had to get surgery at 13 months. That was hard. He has seen a GI doctor because of restricted eating. He didn't produce a bowel movement like regularly. And I was like, well, I'm irregular too. And it was like, no, this is different because all the things that he won't eat, and that's making it difficult. So trying all these different over-the-counters, trying to laxatives and natural laxatives was painful for my child. It was painful for me to watch, right? So that's two. What other type of doctor has he seen? He's seen a psychologist outside that was formally diagnosed him with autism. Of course, the therapist, like I said, he was seeing all three therapies, physical, occupational, and speech, but he had done so well where he graduated out of physical therapy by the age of 4. And I'm forgetting another doctor that he would see regularly. I'm forgetting one. I feel like I'm forgetting one because he's seen so many doctors, it feels as though. Yeah, it's just... But he's made huge milestones. Now he talks so much, you can't get him to be quiet. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So those are the things I wanted to share in this video, right? And my voice keep cracking, I'm sorry. The one thing I can say to other parents, other families, it gets better. Every situation is different. Every household is different. But it gets better because the more you expose your children to resources, ask questions, to talk to other professionals, talk to teachers in your area, in your community, it gets better. Your child will not stay in the same deficient area for too long because they're growing, they're ever learning, they're little sponges. It gets better. I'm just appreciative of all of the special education teachers that my child has been assigned since starting school. These people have made a huge difference in our lives as a collective. And I'm going to use their names in this video because they're amazing to me. His first ever teacher, Miss Pickrell, his pre-K 3 teacher, and her co-teacher, Miss T. His pre-K 4 teacher, when they was going right into the height of COVID, pre-K 3 into 4. That's good because it's been 2.5 years already. Miss Garrett and Miss Tompkins. Thank you all. And his kindergarten teacher, Miss Bell, Mrs. Smith, and Mrs. Mincy. And he's in first grade. His current teacher, Miss Patty, Miss Jennifer, and Miss Rhea. So I thank you all for making a huge difference in our lives. When I tell you, last school year, which was his kindergarten school year, he just became toilet trained. It was the hardest thing because of the sensory issues. You know, how do you tell somebody, or how you ask a kid that has sensory issues, has speech language delays, are you wet? Do you have to go to the bathroom? It's a time to do a number 2. No one knows what someone's going through till they walk a day in someone's shoes. And I never want to be one of those YouTubers that get emotional on camera and cry. But this is personal to me. And as a mom, and I'm a mama bear, when it comes to my boys, my children, The children that didn't ask to come here, but they're here. So to wrap up this video, I just wanted to share what it's been like to live in my household and shop the way I need to shop for me and my 6-year-old, because my 19-year-old is away in college, out of state. So I don't have to shop for him the way I used to, because he's out of state and living on campus full time. But it's just been extremely difficult. So if my videos look different, if they are, you know, different than the ones I created months previous, years previous, this is the reason why. And this is my life. And that's how I'm different than the other vegan YouTubers and, you know, things of that nature. Because what I cook for him, I won't eat, because we have different type of eating habits. And what he likes, I don't necessarily like. And what I like, he won't eat. So I essentially have to cook for myself. Well, cooking for one person is hard. And for stuff I make for him, it's already I just have to heat it up, in a sense. If I make anything from scratch, he won't eat it. So if this is what I want to ask, please leave some comments in the comment section. Have you all experienced any challenges like this? If you have a special needs child at home, specifically one on the spectrum, where you have to make a special meal or buy something specially made for them, you just have to heat it up for them to eat every every day. Because I make his lunches, I make his breakfast, and I make his lunch, because he being vegan, he can't eat school lunch. And he probably wouldn't eat it anyway, because school lunch don't look the way it's supposed to look, doesn't smell the way it's supposed. It's just, school lunches have never been great. Even when I was a little girl in school, when my oldest son just graduated from school, he hated school lunch. So it's just one of those things. So hopefully you all like this video. Please leave positive comments. Please, nothing negative, because this is not this type of video. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm not asking for a handout. I'm just asking for comments. Positive, lighthearted comments. That is all. So please like this video. Please share this video. If you feel like this video can help another family, another mother out there somewhere, please share the video. And please subscribe to my channel. Help me grow my channel. And thank you. Until next time.